Hi, my name is Pavan Kalyan Bandaru. I would like to share a mini project I have worked on as a part of my learning from NxtWave's CCBP 4.0 intensive program. The project name is Tasty Kitchens, and the instructions for building the UI are given through the Figma. And here are the Figma sketches I have used for building the UI of my project. And these are the UI elements for the login route. And here is the home route. And here is the restaurants list route and the component I will be building on. And this is the particular restaurant view I have pulled on. And next, likewise, the cart route. And once the orders are placed, and this is the view I have to show when the order is placed successfully. Now, let us take a look at the project I have built. This is the login page. Here we have fields like for username and password. I have also used a loader component when we click on the login, and during the API calls it will show a loader page. Let's take a look at that. We didn't provided any username and password, and we click on the login. It will show the error like username and password are invalid. Now let's give an uh, unauthorized username and all, like Rahul123, and without providing the password I will click on login. Now it will show that either one of the field is empty, so it's getting a invalid username and password. Let's give a different password than the original one. Now click on login, and it is showing that user is invalid. Now I will provide the valid username and the incorrect password. Now let's see what will happen. It is showing that username and password are didn't met. Now let's give the actual password and the actual username and password credentials. And the username and password are correct, then it will be redirected to the home route. Here is the home page of my website. Here it has a banner section for displaying the offer, and an order list for displaying the restaurants items. Here I have used a select input for sorting the restaurants based on their rating for either from highest to lowest or lowest to highest. By default, it will show as highest. Here, for a page, I have used only 9 restaurants to be displayed, so the remaining will be displayed in the next page. Here we have the button to go forward and backward. For every page, there will be 9 restaurants will be fetched based on the offset and limit. Here are the different restaurants available. Now, let us see the UI for a particular restaurant. Here is the UI for a particular restaurant, and it has a banner with the details about the restaurant and the food items, food menu available for that restaurant. It's similar for all the restaurants. I have a header section. Uh, Whenever we click on the home or the website logo, it will be redirected to the home page. Now let us see the cart row. Here, when there are no orders, it will show no orders yet and a button to go to proceed with the selecting of food items. Let's select few items and add them to the cart. Whenever we click on a add button, it will show the quantity and an option to increase the quantity and decrease the quantity. Now let's go to the cart section. Here the items are added to the cart and the quantity which we have selected will be displayed here, and a price for that quantity and a total price, and with an option to place the order. Here when we change the quantity of the item, it will be reflected in the restaurant page also. Here we have changed the quantity from 1 to 3 for this item. Let's see whether it is changed in the restaurant view or not. Here we go. In default, we have provided only the quantity as 1, but we modified the quantity in cart and it will be updated here also. Now go to the cart row and let's click on place order. Now it will show the page like order placed successfully, and we can go with an option to go back to the home page. Now let us explore the sort by filter option. Initially it is set to highest to lowest. Let's change it to lowest first. Whenever we change the value, there will be a fetch call and fetches the new list accordingly. Here the rating will be shown from lowest to highest. Now let us see the logout button. When we click on the logout, the JWT token will be deleted and the page will be redirected to the login page. Here it is. Now let us explore the same website in the mobile view. So that I am using developer options and mobile view. Here in mobile view, the web page looks like this with the same functionality and all. So I am using the credentials to log in back. As we log in, the home route will be displayed with list of restaurants. And the functionality will be same. Let us see the page for restaurant. Here is the page looks like in mobile view for restaurant item with all the food items. Let's explore the cart route in mobile view. Here is the cart route looks like. Let's take a look at cart how it will be look when we add some items to the cart. Here is the page looks like when we add some elements to the cart, and similarly when we place order it will show the order successful view. Yeah, that's the project I have built. Now let us explore the project structure and source code of my project. Starting from the app.js file, here I have used React Router DOM for routing between different pages, and the state of the app.js component contains details regarding whether order is placed or not and cart items. Here I have used a initialize cart method which takes the stored data which I have stored in the local storage regarding the cart items, and if there is nothing stored in the local storage it will return an empty string. Likewise the cart items will be initialized, and there are methods to add cart items and get the quantity of the item in the cart, and this is the method for removing an item from the cart. Likewise increase quantity for increasing the quantity and for decreasing the quantity. Here this is the method for when once we click on the place order the method will be called. At every of these methods there will be a callback function which will be called after the state is updated for storing the updated details in the local storage. Here is the rendered method. Here I have created a variable for initializing the cart context. Here I have used the cart context, and in which I have used the switch for routing for switching between different routes. Here are the different routes I have used. For home, cart and restaurant details I have used a protected route which ensures that whether a user is not logged in and tries to log in, he will be redirected to the login page. This is the protected route component. Here I have used a JS cookie library for accessing the cookies, it checks whether a user is logged in or not. If a user is not logged in, and it will be redirected to the login page. If not, it will be routed to the home or cart respectively. So that's about the app.js. Now let's see the different components I have used. Here I have used login for login route, home for home route, and likewise header, footer, food item. Let's go through these all. Let's start with the login. Here I have used the third-party library like React Router DOM for redirecting and all, and JS cookies for accessing the cookies, and a loader for displaying the loading view during the API calls. Here in login component, the state contains the different fields like username, password, and error message. If there is anything uh, wrong in the login credentials, then the error message will be displayed, and different objects for showing the error, showing the loading or not. And these are the onChange functions to update the state accordingly for username, and this is for updating the password when there is a change in the username and password. Let's go to the route render method. Here it first checks whether a user is logged in or not. If a user is already logged in, then it will be redirected to the home page without the need for logging again. If not, it will display the login page. Here are the different methods. Let's go through the form container. Here in this form container, there are different elements for displaying the text and displaying the form elements and input elements. Here this one is for displaying the username field, and this one is for displaying the password field. Likewise, I have built this component. These are the different fields I have used, and this method will return the button, login buttons and all. So that's all about this login route component. Now let us see the home route component. Here is the home route component. Here I have used different third-party libraries like React Slick, React JS cookies for accessing the cookies, and React Slick for displaying the carousel effect in the home page for offer section, and React icons for displaying the icons like left arrow, right arrow, and sort by filter like that, and loader for displaying the loading view during the API calls. Here, in the state of the home component, I have stored the page number of the current page of the restaurant list, and offers list, and restaurant items list, and likewise the sort by filter option, what is the user selected like highest to lowest or lowest to highest, and the API call status for offers for fetching the offers details and for fetching the restaurant details. Here, the API calls will be triggered once the component is mounted successfully. Let's go to the render method. Here is the render method, and it starts from the header and displaying the home row. And here I have used a method for displaying the offer section. Let's go through those methods. This is the render offers method. It's having a switch statement for displaying different views during the API calls, and once the API call is initiated, it will show the loading effect, and once the API call is successful, it will show the successful view, and if it's failed, it will show the error like failed and retry. And likewise, these are the different elements for displaying the titles and description and all. And here is the restaurant section, which displays the restaurant list fetching and restaurant list details and all. Let's see that. This is the method, and it's also a switch case statement. It will also similar to the offer section. like it will display the loading view during the API call and displays the restaurant view when it's successful, and a failure with a message. And there is a section at the bottom that will display the page numbers and left and right arrows. Let's see that in the project. So as we discussed, this is the header section I have included, and this is the offer section, and these are the heading and description, and this is the restaurant section. It will be displaying the restaurant items, and this is the page nation section. It will be having the page number and left and right arrow. Here is the one, that's the page number I have stored in the state, and at the bottom the footer section, and this is the footer. That's all about the home component. And I have used different methods, like for displaying the loading during the restaurant fetch, and loader during the offers fetch, offers API call. And these are the once offer section API call is successful, this is the view we will be written, and it's a slider for displaying the carousel effect, which contains all the images. And this is the method that returns the restaurant list once the API call is successful. It's an unordered list which contains restaurant item. Let's see. Each restaurant is a restaurant item component that will be displayed, and restaurant item is another component we will see later. So that's the home route component. Now let us see the restaurant details component. This is the restaurant details we are talking about. Here in this one, it stores the state as restaurant details, the details about the restaurant like name, title, image and all, and food items list, and there is a variable for storing the state of the API call. Once the component is mounted successfully, there is a API call for fetching those details. This is the API call. It will set the state for fetch status as loading, and then it will proceed with the API call. And if the API call is successful, it will go to the fetch successful method, and if not, it will update the state as failure. Now go to the render method. Here in this render method, we have header component and a footer component. That's the common ones, and we have a method for displaying the banner section and restaurant food items details. That's a switch case method we have seen likewise in the home. Here similarly, when it's loading, it shows a loading view. When it's successful, it will show a success view, and failure with a message to retry. Here is the banner view. The banner view is like this one. This one is the banner view. Here it shows different elements for displaying images, name, location, and cost for 2 items, and reviews count, etc. These are all the elements I have used. And this method, return food items view, displays a unordered list with all the food items. Here a food item is a component for displaying individual food items. This one is a food item. Similarly, all these ones are food items. So we will see that food item component later. So, and there are methods to convert the data and format the data and all. These are those methods for formatting the data that is received from the server or API call. And this one is the loading component which will be displayed during the API calls. So that's all about the restaurant details route. Now let us see the cart route component. This is the cart route component. Here I have used React Router DOM library for redirecting for accessing the home page, and likewise React icons for displaying rupee symbol. This cart route uses a cart context for accessing the cart items and associated methods like add items, remove items, increase quantity and all. This returns a view. Let's see the render cart route method. Here in this method, it will first initially check whether the order is placed or not. If not, if order is placed, then it will show a order placed view. If not, and it will show a no orders view. And if both the cases are false, then it will show cart item section. Let's see the common method which will be differed based on whether order is placed or not, or whether cart is empty or not. So this is the method. It contains header and some elements for displaying the image and some for displaying the text like order placed or not based on the parameter we passed like true or false. And there is a button to go to the home page, and the text to be displayed is depends on the parameter we pass. Here we are passing false for once order is placed or not, and here we are passing true for no orders view. Let's explore the cart section once where there is items in the cart. This is the view that will be displayed when there are some items in the cart. Here it has a header and a container for displaying the cart view. Let's see that in the project. Initially now there are no cart items. Let's add some. Now go to the cart. Here this is the container that will be displayed we are talking about. Here there is an unordered list for displaying the each cart item. This one is an cart item, like this one is also a cart item. We have two cart items that will be displayed using the cart item component, and these are some elements for different text and underlines and all. And there is a element for displaying the total cost of the cart items, and likewise there is a place order button for placing the order. This is the place order button, and this is the total cart value element. So this is the cart route component. Now let us see the different common components I have used in my project, like header, footer, and the restaurant item, food item and all. Starting with the header. Here is a header component which stores the state as so nav items or not. This will be useful in the mobile view where there is an hamburger button. When we click on that, it will show the nav items like logout, home, cart and all. Let's see that. For that I am changing to the mobile view. Here there is an hamburger menu. When we click on this, it will show different nav items. So the state of this will be stored here, and it has different elements for displaying text, images and buttons. So this is the header component. Now let's go to the footer component. This is the footer component. Here I have used React icons for displaying the social media links. Here in this, I have used different container and HTML elements for displaying the text, images, and description. And here I have used a container element for displaying the social media links. Here is the footer section I am talking about, and these are the social media links. So this is the footer component. Now let us see the restaurant item that will be displayed in the home page. This is the restaurant items that will be displayed. So let's explore the restaurant item component. Here, this is the restaurant item component. It will be having different container and heading and para elements for displaying the details like restaurant name and image and ratings and all. So this is the restaurant item component. Now let us see the food item component. This is the food item component we have used to display different food items in a restaurant route. So here it's using the cart context for getting the quantity and using the methods like increase quantity and decrease quantity and all. And similarly, like for displaying name, price, and cost, I have used different HTML heading and para elements. Yeah, this is the food item component. Now let's see the counter. Here, this is the counter component I have used. The counter component is this one, the quantity, plus and minus buttons. Let's see that component. So in the counter component, we have different variables for quantity, and this we have used two buttons for increasing and decreasing quantity and a paragraph element for displaying the quantity. Here I have used the cart context for using the methods like increase quantity and decrease quantity. So this is the counter component. Now let's see the last cart item component that will be used in the cart route for displaying individual cart item. Here I have used different methods for increasing and decreasing quantity, and I have also used the cart context for accessing the increasing and decreasing quantity methods. And likewise I have used different container elements for displaying the title, image, and buttons for increasing and decreasing quantity. And for displaying quantity I have used paragraph element, and for displaying the total cost like the quantity into cost, for I have used HTML paragraph element. So this is about the cart item component. So that's all about the project I have built. This is the source code and all. Thank you for watching.